We need light. We need light. It's dark. This no. We need light. I mean, I'm just saying it's probably super dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CJJC 29 Grapple Bowl pre-show. This show today is brought to you by DCO MMA. I'm Jordan Kurtz here alongside Clive Coady. Clive, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, my man. I'm excited to see this Grapple Bowl card. It's an annual installment here for the CJJC cage here. We look to have a great turnout from the crowd, a lot of energy in the room, lots of high-paced grappling matches across multiple different grappling disciplines that we're going to offer for the crowd to see. We're going to give a little bit of a preview of a couple of the matchups here. Clive, what do you say we run it down?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So in the Skin Shield Pro main event, you have a matchup between Tyler the Choker Betts of Flow State Jiu-Jitsu. He is taking on Artur Bichanov of High Altitude Martial Arts. Now, this is a bit of a couple of contrasting styles in this matchup here, Clive. We have a couple of guys who, one of them is a collegiate level wrestler. The other one just recently got his purple belt because, well, he just so happened to be the best blue belt in the world per the IBJJF World Championships. So what are your thoughts on this matchup in the main event?
I mean, winning IBJJF Worlds is no joke. I think that's going to play a big factor in here tonight. But when you bring someone like a wrestler who's really strong against someone who does jiu-jitsu, the aggression's not going to match up how the IBJJF World medalist wants it to, essentially. So
there's also the elements of the cage that are going to be brought into the mix. You know, that can present some difficulty as far as having to deal with the fence, as well as the element of, as mentioned with the wrestling, there could be some slams and things of that nature that get brought forth. But that's why they go out there. That's why they make the walk. In the co-main event, sponsored by Comments from the Peanut Gallery, we have a 145-pound no-gi matchup between Mateo Colazzo taking on D'Anthony the Ace Muniz. D'Anthony, coming out of New Era Jiu-Jitsu, Professor Matt Sierra has everybody always in tip-top shape anytime that they're going out there making the walk to compete. He's got a very seasoned competitor in Mateo Colazzo who's been around for a long time. Now, D'Anthony, though, his frequency of activity and the amount of competition that he is always in, I think definitely has to lead for an advantage for him coming into this matchup today.
for sure, I think when you have D'Anthony, I mean, he's coming off a win from another organization, JWI, and I think everyone that Massiera puts out, like we said in the previous shows, they're always going to be in tip-top shape, and I mean, that's not the only guy he has here today, so.
And then as we take a look at the rest of the card here, Clive, who are maybe a matchup or somebody in particular individually that you have your eyes on that you think that the people absolutely have to keep their eyes glued on their screen for their match today?
Yeah, so one of them is Michael Ortiz versus RJ Bauer. Now, it's RJ's debut, and Mikey's 0-2 right now, but I really don't think those losses really show how skilled he is. He always makes it exciting. In his first match ever against Jesse, who's competing later on the card today, once again, New Era, Mikey was just throwing up, crazy submission attempts, flying arm bars, and he's always exciting. I got to train with him. Mikey's a great guy, but I mean, the big question is, this is RJ's debut, so I don't know if the bright lights will get to him. This could be a big factor in front of a whole crowd, so it's going to be different.
Definitely something to factor in the mix, especially for some young competitors at their age. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of different names here, folks. One of them is going to be the matchup that you see with Zeke the Freak Alirez, who has taken on Talami Scott. Now, I say this because Zeke is a guy who has a tremendous amount of combat sports experience out there through the years, lots of fights, a lifetime of just moments spent in the gym between he, his family, his brothers, his cousins, so on and so forth. But he's been away for a little bit of time now, nursing up some injuries, getting back healthy, and getting himself back towards those steps of making the walk to get back into the cage as a fighter. This is one of the closest things that you could possibly get to in the combat sports world that isn't an actual fight, being that you're going and competing in a cage, you're making the walk, you made weight in the process, all of the things that go into actually taking an MMA fight. It's all of that minus the strikes, essentially. So I think that this is going to be a good gauge to see where he's at physically in terms of being back to tip-top shape and being able to redline, peak, and perform at top levels, if you will. And then another matchup that I want to bring up is on the undercard. I think that you have the opportunity to see a couple of young, hungry guys in a matchup between Jonathan Rodriguez and Jorge George Venzer out of Factory X. That's AMAG versus Factory X in this particular matchup. They both competed for us here on CJJC cards in different capacities, whether that is Grapple games to our full-on pro cards. I think that this is a chance for George to go out there and potentially get his first win. I know he's been working really hard in the gym and is excited to go out there and put on a show for the people out there to watch today. Either way, there's great matchups all the way from the start to the finish throughout the card, whether we're talking the early prelims all the way through the main event. So, folks, please keep it along and keep us watching and rocking here. Smash that like, share, and subscribe button on the CJJC YouTube page. If you want to compete on future shows, make sure that you go to jujitsuclub.co. I'm Jordan Kurtz, joined here alongside Clive Coady. This is the CJJC 29 pre-show breakout for Grapple Bowl.